What if I told you there were three simple questions that you can ask in virtually any situation that will improve any process, any project, and any relationship? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to share with you these three questions and how you can apply them to your life and to your work right now. Welcome to the Do More, Stress Less podcast. I'm your host, Alexis Hasselberger, a time management and productivity coach. In every episode, I give you actionable, practical tips to help you learn to use your time in a way that feels good to you every day. No more hustling, scrambling, or struggling to keep your head above water. So let's dive in, and soon enough, you'll be doing more and stressing less. Do you feel stuck from time to time or often? Well, you're not alone, I promise. But what if I told you that there were just a few simple questions that you can ask in almost any situation to make that situation, that process, that project, or even that relationship better? Well, good news, you don't have to wonder because I'm going to tell you. There are three magic questions. They are what's going well, so we can double down on it, what's not going as well, and what can we try or experiment with to improve what's not working. Now, as a side note, did I come up with these questions? No, I did not. I first heard about them from the Agile Software Development Framework many years ago. But I am not a software engineer. I have never developed any software. Yet, these questions I find are really instructive. They're something we can use in all sorts of situations. And long ago, I started applying these questions in all sorts of other situations with great success. And so I want to share that with you. Now, what's so special about these questions? Now, these questions do a few key things. First, they help you and everyone else to normalize that things aren't always going well. Even when we wish everything were going well, that's rarely the case, right? There's usually room for improvement, and asking these questions just normalizes that. The second reason these questions are special is that they represent a real truth, and that's that the only constant is change. What worked last year, or last month, or last week, or maybe even yesterday might not work today anymore. Things have changed. And if you doggedly stick to what worked before without acknowledging that things may be different now, then you're going to be very frustrated. And the third reason that these questions are so special is that they help you to move forward and to get unstuck. They get us out of that rumination cycle and they move us forward. Now, I bet you want to know how can you practically apply these questions, right? So, I want to share with you a number of ways that you can do it. Firstly, you can use these just with yourself, right? So, you can ask yourself, what's going well in my life right now? You can acknowledge that. You can congratulate yourself, and then you can double down on what's going well. You can ask, what's not going as well as I'd like it to, right? And then you can follow that up with, well, what could I do? What action can I take? What can I experiment with to see if that improves things? So you can do this just all on your own. You don't even need anybody else. But you can also ask these questions with other people, right? You can do this in your family, in your household, in your extended family, even, or your team. You can ask, what's been going well for us? What's not going so well for us? Where's there some friction? And what can we test out to see what might work even better? In fact, I use these questions not only at work and in the work world, but we actually use these in a family meeting in my family every single week. Not just for us, but for our kids as well. They get to answer and ask these questions also. And this helps us to have a whole family system that understands what's going well, what's not, and what we can all do together to make things better. You can do this in your team. You can do this in a particular project team that you're on. If it's even just a one off, you can do this with others. Now, how about meetings? I know that meetings are they're troublesome for a lot of us. Let's just say we are in a lot of meetings. I think the stat is that we're in 250% more meetings than pre-pandemic, And studies also show that about 50% of those meetings do not feel like a good use of time for most people. So, in your meetings, this might be a really targeted way to ask these questions, especially if you're in recurring meetings that have been on your calendar for a long time. So, you could ask, hey, what about this meeting is going well? Maybe it's content, frequency, agenda, etc. You could ask, what about this meeting isn't working so well or makes this meeting feel less than useful? Get the opinions of others. And next, you can ask, well, what could we try differently to see if that improves things? And then, importantly, make a time to come back and reflect on what you tried and if it worked and if it didn't and what we might need to try again. So you can use this in all sorts of different ways. But I want to know from you too. So feel free to leave a comment or reach out. How about you? In what situation could you also apply these questions? Where are you stuck right now? Where are you frustrated right now? And if you're feeling stuck or frustrated, I want you to try to apply these questions and see if that can help move you towards action. And that's a wrap on today's episode of the Do More, Stress Less podcast. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with somebody who could use a little less stress in their life. And make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're excited to take action or you need a little extra support, check out the free resources available on my website or schedule a free consultation call with me. You can do both of these at alexishasselberger.com. See you next time.